Zora the Story Keeper, written by Ebony Joy Wilkins, illustrated by Coulter. When I grow up, I want to be just like my Aunt B. She is the best storyteller I know. Aunt B used to teach acting classes, and sometimes she dresses up in costume and uses funny voices when she tells me her stories. She says everyone has a story worth telling. Each day after school, Aunt B reads to me from the pages of our family book while Mom and Dad are working. I learned that Grandma Jean used to coach a swimming team. Aunt B pulls on a swim cap and swings a whistle around her finger when she tells that story. We also read that Grandpa Tom preached sermons in our neighborhood church in Chicago. So Aunt B wears a purple robe and dabs her forehead with a white cloth. Sometimes I dress up too, and her kitchen becomes our stage. My page is near the end of the book. I think about what Aunt B will read about me. Maybe that I like making snow angels and running races with my cousins at our family reunions. Maybe she'll read that I'll want to play tennis like Serena and Venus. I plan to be a veterinarian, and I hope to visit all 54 countries in Africa one day. What's written on my page? I ask Aunt B daily. I'll give you a hint, Zora, she says excitedly. It's something we both love to do. Sometimes there's only a name, date, or city written in our book, so we have to piece together the stories. Aunt B says I have a good memory and the gift of gab, the only two things you need to be a good storyteller. One day, the family book is open to Uncle Ted's page, but Aunt B isn't in costume yet. She's resting. She opens her eyes when I touch her shoulder and tells me I'll need to help her today. I bring over my toy soldiers and line them up on the arm of her chair. Aunt B smiles as I shout orders to my platoon, just like Uncle Ted did. He was a fighter pilot in World War II. When one of his men fell to the ground during battle, Uncle Ted risked his life and flew him to safety. With each story, we get closer to my page. But lately, Aunt B hasn't touched her costumes. All of the stories sound the same, and she's been missing words while she reads. I get scared, but she makes me promise I won't worry Uncle Ralph or Mom and Dad about it. Aunt B, what's wrong? I ask. She makes space for me at the end of her bed. Nothing, Zora, she tells me. Everything's fine. Her voice is tiny, almost a whisper, like she's far away. Uncle Ralph says the doctors want to keep an eye on Aunt B's levels, and I am to tidy up the house while they're away. I dust her favorite books first, the ones written by Zora Neale Hurston. When I get to our family book, I leave it near Aunt B's pillow for when she comes home. Uncle Ralph comes back, but Aunt B isn't with him. He drops down on the sofa and wipes a tear from his eye. Miles Davis is singing about love in the background. When the doctors say I can visit, I brush Aunt B's hair and tell her a story about Cousin Cheryl's sewing shop in the Bronx, where she made the most glamorous beaded gowns with matching headpieces. Women came from all 5 boroughs to buy from Cheryl's Sew and Design. Aunt B smiles proudly. I tell her stories until the nurses say it's time to let her rest. I hug her tight, but Aunt B feels soft like one of my dolls. I kiss her forehead and tuck her blanket under her chin. Aunt B isn't coming home. There are no stories for a few days. Mom sets my Sunday dress on the bed. I slip it on, pull my locks up into a high bun, and step into my cowgirl boots. Aunt Bee and Uncle Ralph's place is full of family. Everyone knows to bring a dish, and a photo, and a story for our family book. Aunt Bee's stories were much better than the ones I hear today. I sink deep into Aunt Bee's armchair. That's where Uncle Ralph finds me after everyone goes home. "Your aunt wanted you to have this," he says. There's a silver bow and a card with my name written on top. The smooth leather feels familiar, like home. The pages smell like Aunt Bee's pound cake. I open the cover slowly, and he hands me an envelope full of photos. On the back side of each one, I find names and dates. He says I'm to add them to the book. I turn to the last page. My story is there, just like Aunt Bee said it would be. There's a message next to my name. Zora, the story keeper. I make space for Uncle Ralph to sit. As I add the photos to Aunt Bee's page, I start to piece her story together. Hey friends, it's me, Miss Olivia. Thank you so much for listening in to Zora the Story Keeper. Please support the author and illustrator of this book by purchasing your very own copy. I hope you enjoyed listening to this story as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. Until next time, my name is Miss Olivia. This is Miss Olivia Reads, and I cannot wait for you to join me for another reading adventure very soon. Bye, friends.